Hello everyone, welcome to SAP Technomaniac. In this video, we are going to discuss how we can convert our existing ALV reports to a Fiori application using the RESTful ABAP programming. Nowadays, customers are asking they have existing legacy report which were developed on the other database like the Oracle's DB6. Now they have moved to the S4 HANA. Now they want to convert those reports to the Fiori so they can display those reports in the Fiori screen instead of the GUI screen. There are two ways we can do. One, directly whatever we have the existing T code, just we can configure in the Fiori Launchpad and give that particular T code. But the disadvantage over there, because those reports develop in classical way, they are using a lot of select statement, they are not utilizing the HANA database power because they were developed on the Oracle, DB6 and other database, and they were hitting multiple time database to getting the data. So they want to convert this not only to the Fiori front end, but they want to enhance their report as well. For that purpose, we usually suggest to the clients they convert their classical reports to the Fiori screen, and where we will develop through the CDS those front end Fiori application. We will use RAP wherever it is possible, and if it is not possible, there are some what we can say most of the ALV reports we can convert to the RAP, but there are the custom module pool programs are there that we have to convert in the UI file. But most of the ALV reports we can easily convert in the our Fiori application using RAP. So one of the requirement which I am going to show you, where we have one of the complex report which developed throughout the years, and there we have more than 20 tables. We are hitting the different tables, and there is a lot of complex logic, lot of function modules are called. Those kind of report, how we can convert in our RAP Fiori application. So in this one, the agenda of this particular, that will be not, obviously it will be not covered in one video. We will split this part in multiple videos because it's a very tough requirement, I can say. In that, we will first understand the existing report, how it look like, and how many tables we are getting, what is the existing logic, and how many fields we are getting. So to give the overview, we have the approximately 20 table we are hitting, where we are getting the approximately 35 fields out of those 20 tables. We are calling the multiple function modules like the read text and the material conversion function modules and other function modules also. And apart from that, we have some of the logic which we can't directly use in the CDS. So for that purpose, we will gonna use the CDS table function, we will gonna use the virtual element in the CDS, and we have some edit functionality in the final output. Once we click on the edit button, then it should open another T code. So that also we have to do in the Fiori application. So that we can do, basically we will create the hyperlink on the, for example, one order number is there. I will click on the order number, it should open the COR3 T code. In that, in our case, what we will do, we will create the hyperlink and give the COR3 application, Fiori application instead of COR3 T code. These are the things you can see on the screen. So we will gonna do a lot of things because in our list report page, generally we create through RAP. We don't have the horizontal scroll bar, that also we have to fix. We don't want to open the object page because we don't need an object page in the ALV report, and we have one push button also that we have to cover through the actions, and we have the material quantity conversion function module that again we have to enhance. So those things I will gonna explain one by one. Before going to those things, first we will understand the existing report. Not only that, I will give in this video the appropriate naming convention which we can suggest to the client, because all the clients new to the RAP, so they are asking for the naming convention what they have to follow. We can suggest. So I will prepare some of the document, so which I will share on the LinkedIn, and use that as well. So let's get started. First we will understand the existing report, which is typical classical ALV report, how we used to develop. And this report using the solve ALV factory method to display the ALV output, and they use the completely object oriented approach to create this application. In this way, they are using the local classes for the one selection screen, for one for the data fetching and data processing, and one for the data display. Typically, we can say MVC model kind of things they try to create. So in this case, you can see this is the report we are displaying the production order detail. So this is the PP report. You might be aware, if you have worked in the production planning SAP PP, you might be aware some of the tables. You're not aware, no need to worry. Anyway, we are doing the technical conversion, but I will try to explain little bit so you will get some idea as well. First, we have the selection screen. Obviously, we have the three includes top, selection screen, and the subroutine. In the top, we have all the data declaration. Selection screen, we have the selection screen. There is no, we don't have tough selection screen. There is only 3 select options and 1 checkbox. And we have subroutine, and in the initialization part, since we have the 3 classes, one for the selection screen, one for the data fetching, and one for the display, we are initializing all 3 objects in our initialization. So we initialize the selection screen object, then that selection screen object we pass to the data, so we can get the data from the database. And when we are displaying the data, those selection screen and the data object we have passed in the ALV display object, so we can display the final data. So this is how this initialization works. So let's start with this. In this app set selection screen, what we are doing, if you go to that, simply whatever we have the select options, we have 3 select options in this one. Let me open the select option basically. So you can see very simple selection screen. One is the work center, one is a plant, one is the date, and we have some flag, echo, and the interval. Two parameters are there. This simple selection screen we are having, and that we are displaying that those values whatever we are getting from the selection screen, we just updating in our selection screen object. So that further we can utilize in our throughout the program. The selection screen class, if you see local class, nothing much is there. If you open this LCL local cell, LCL report cell, open this one. In this one, just we have the 3 attribute we declared, no methods are there, just one for the work center, one for the date, scheduled start date, and one for the plant. These 3 things are there. So these data we are getting from the front end user, and we are updating in the selection screen object, so we can use in our when we are getting the data from the database and when we are displaying the data at the output. First part, we set the selection screen of all the attribute of the selection screen object from the selection screen, then we are getting the data. Here is the very important part, because since we are developing this application using the Fiori application, so the important part is the get data part. See this get data, it's a really complex one, so I try to explain, but if you don't understand also, no need to worry. So the first thing, if you know the PP module, we have in the PP model something called the work center. So production planning, whenever we do work center, where the place where the products are prepared, we can say work center means the machine, one kind of the machine where the things are prepared. So since we are passing on the selection screen the work center number and plant, in the one particular plant, what is the work center, what is the machine, somebody working on that one, for that we are getting the object ID and something called the production supply area. These 2 details we are getting, and this production supply area we are displaying in the output as well. We are displaying in the output this work center or plant as well, and we are getting the object ID, so we can get for this particular work center we can get the further detail. The next step, when we are going, we are hitting the AFVC table based on the object number and the ARB ID means work center we have got from the previous step of the work center data. So AFVC data, you can read out this is the operation within the order. One production order. So we have something called the production order, like in sales order. In the production orders, we can have the different operations. Operations means those operations can be performed either on the one work center or different work centers. One machine or different machines. In one machine, how many operations are happening in work center? How many uh, things you are doing? Those operation detail I want to get from this AFPC table. Basically, I'm getting the activity number, operation number, what is the operation number you are doing, what is the object ID, plant, routing number, and the if this operation is deleted or not, those details, and the general counter of the order. This all the details, routing number is the important for us. These all the details we are getting from the operation within the order. Operations detail we are getting for that work center. Once we go to the operation detail, we just these guys what they are doing, just deleting the some operations are inactive. Those that is the reason they got the, we have the deletion indicator like in the sales order. Same way, they don't want to consider those operations, so they deleted those operations. They can put this condition here as well, but this, since that was not the primary key, that was the constant, this is the classical report, so they might have done delete later point of time. They have sorted this table so they can read in easily in the binary search. This is the typical classical ALV report which used to do. And next step, they are getting the for that particular AUFPL which they have got, the AUFPL and APL PZ routing number and counter of the operation for routing number and the count route number and the counter for that particular operation. They are getting further detail, time detail, date detail. For example, that particular operation schedule start date, when they can start earliest in particular day, when they can what is the start time, what is the start date, those details they are getting. This start time, earliest schedule start and earliest schedule start date and time, both the things we are displaying in the final output. That is the reason these details they are getting here. Then they have got the data again from the our AFKBO, that is the production order header table. To create one production order, they can have in the production order, they have entire detail. They have the BOM detail, again what material they are preparing, they have the what all are the operations performed, where they have performed it, on which work center they have performed. So based on the previous step, we got the AUFPL. The AUFPL means the routing counter of the operation in the order, route counter, or that what is the counter. Based on that value, they got the what all are the production order for that particular route number, and they got the AFKO, the production order header detail from the AFKO. Again, we have two table, AFKO and APO. Production order header detail, we have the AFKO. In production order line item detail, we have the APO. And why I'm explaining, so you can little bit relate the things why we are getting the data. Ultimately, this is we are getting the select, we are combining in one final table and displaying in the output and doing some after checking the sum of the values. So these are the little bit complex reports I can say, because I want to explain through the real-time requirement. That is the reason I took this this kind of the, so I can explain most of the concepts which we can, or most of the hiccups when we get real time, when we develop this particular RAP application, then what we can get. If you don't understand this one, when I will create the Fiori app, you will not able to get what we are doing. So we got this data, and then after the AFKO data, we got the production order data. We got some of the data from the RESB, reservation table. So we got the reservation table number from the AFKO table that we used to get the further detail quantity material, which basically I think we are getting the some quantity and material from the reservation table as well, so which we are displaying in the output. Here again, there is the one most important thing. It's basically we are getting here bulk material detail, bulk material and bulk material description from the RESB table. But here we have to create the CDS table function. I will be not able to join in the normal CDS. I will show you that also, why we have to do that kind of things. Then we have the material description in production order table, AFKO table. we have the material called PL and BEZ, material number in the production order table. For that, what is the tax material test we are getting from MAKTX table. Here we will use all the standard CDS views like the I underscore product to get the data, which is the released CDS view. Obviously, some of the places we will be not able to use the released CDS view. That also I will show you why we are not able to release, why we are not able to use, because either we don't have in the current version those CDS, or we are using some of the custom field from the table. Those custom fields are not added in those CDS, so we have to use the tables directly. Then next is the ITAFK table, where we are getting the production supervisor detail from MARC based on the plant and material we have to pass from the AFKO to the MARC table. Then we will get this is again one typical, we are just want to filter out those order where the order type is 40. So that is the reason they got all the this is available, this order type in the AUFK table, order master data, and we deleted those order which is not having the order type 40. This is the simple thing they have done. They would have done initially itself, but not sure why they have done later, but we will follow the same to make sure the output of this particular report and whatever we are developing in the wrap both are in sync. Sometime we have to follow whatever we return in the existing report. If the with you, if the functionals are there, those are good. Typically, I hope so we can get, and they can help us to trick the logic again. So we can because these reports developed throughout the multiple years, and they have a lot of multiple select we are writing unnecessary. I will show you like this AFKO, and some of the places we are multiple time hitting. One time we hit the table, another time we had hit the view which is having that table, and that is again why we are doing. I'm not sure in this report, but throughout the years these reports are developed, so another developer don't know and don't have that much expertise, so that is the reason reports got messed up. In that case, what you guys can do, you can take help of the functional guys and understand the logic and do. Not required if you want to do as is, that is also good, not an issue, but output is the very important thing. This should not change for us. Again, we did this one, we are getting the status. It's a really complex one here. Again, I think we have to create the CDS table function, because they are not simply displaying the one status, what is the current status. Instead of that, they are displaying the entire status, what was the first status, then second, third, fourth, fifth, and what is the current status. So all the status they are displaying. So that is the reason they are hitting the multiple time JCDS to get the change status, and JEST to get the status, and for one JTX02T table to get the status description. So these are the status things they are doing. I think I will try to adjust in the CDS, but if we are not able to do, then obviously we have to do the CDS table function. Okay, so next one is the PCMP production campaign number. Again, another table. We are getting the based on our production number, what is the campaigning number and what is the tax for that. We are getting from that the production order header, production campaign header and item table. Both we have to combine, because one place we have the order number, another place we have the text, campaign number, text. So that is the reason we have to combine both the tables and we have to get that detail. The next table, again, which I was telling, that they are using CAUFP table. Basically, this is the combination of AFKO, AFPO table or AUFK, which tables we already have used. Now they are getting some data using the view. What they would have done, they would have get the data above itself without using this view. So that we will try to resolve, because this BOM number, change number, BOM type, and the production profile number, these things they can get from directly from the either from the header, production order header, or production order line item number directly. They no need to hit again CAUFP table, which is again the combination of those tables only, those view. Why they did, I am not sure, but we can do in our requirement is if it is required. Then we have the production profile description. We got the production profile number from here, from CAUFP. This is the production profile number. The description we are getting from the TCO43 table. This is another field which production profile text which we are displaying in the output. The next is which we are hitting the BOM table to get this laboratory design office. The laboratory detail from that particular where it is built. So that is the thing, we are getting the laboratory detail from the BOM. So that is the reason again we hit the BOM table based on the data which we have got, this STLNR, SAER and STLN number. We are passing and we are getting this laboratory detail field. And last table where we are getting the some detail material type from the MARA for the production order material, and we are getting the some indicator, basically that is the TO, transfer order status. Currently we can say transfer order status we will get from LTEC table, that is the warehouse management tables. We have the indicator of confirmation if we have printed the transfer order or not. Based on that we want to display in the output some status. So that is the detail we are getting from LTEC table. And last thing, AUFA, goods movement. We are doing the goods movement also for the particular production order. The movement type also defined. For that goods movement, what is the quantity and what is the batch number, and those details we are getting, and based on that we are displaying the scrap quantity, I think so, from MSET table. So scrap quantity something called in the production order, no need to go in detail, but some detail we are displaying from the MSET table. For that is the reason we have passed this the batch number, charge and BWIT which we have got from the AUFM table. That further we have passed, and this detail we will be displaying in the output. That also I will show you in the TDS as well. And at last we have the production order AFPO line item table. Some of the detail we have to get from the line item table also. And we have the supplying area details we are getting from the RESB. Some of the details like the PRVB, Warner, operation number, these all the details we are getting again from the RESB table. And then at last, once we got all the details from all the table, we are combining these details whatever we got throughout the select statement in one final table. Again I am telling, no need to worry, we'll try to create out of this all the things CDS we try to release. That is the reason I'm telling this can't be covered in one video. It's a very complex report, but we will understand lot of concept, and once you will understand that, you will be able to easily work on real-time requirements. Next is as I told you, we have the operation within the order operation table we are having. We are looping through the operation table and we are updating our final table. For that particular operation, what all are the details, what all are the production order we have to display. For that operation, what is the production order, what is the work center, what all are the movement types and campaign number, labor, whatever we faced, we have to display all the details in the output. So that is the reason we are looping through the ITAFVC table, the operation table for that particular order. In this operation table, this is the existing one, so we will follow the same, and we are first filling the final table. So when I will just highlight the shift F1. So you can see I'm just highlighting the GWA final. I'm not able to do if my system got stuck. So in this, first we are getting the works, second we are getting the operation number, plant and operation number directly from AFVC. Then F3, you can see now. Then we are hitting the AFVV table. Basically we are getting scheduling detail of the operation we will get from the AFVV table. So we have the earlier schedule start date and earlier schedule start time that we got, that will be displaying in the final output. We are getting the work center from the CRHD table, which is the first table which we have hit based on the selection screen. We just want to make sure work center which we are displaying that is available on the selection screen as well. And next is we are getting the production order header details, where we are getting the schedule finish date, finish time, production order number, quantities and the material number and the STLL. These all the details we are getting from the AFKO. And we are getting the two things, one is the bulk material and the bulk material description from the RESB table. Then we have the production profile detail, and for that they have created some perform, some other guy might have worked, so that is the reason he hit the view instead of table and did separately entirely differently logic. So that's fine for us, but just they are getting the production profile number to get and production profile text. And apart from that, that guy is getting the status, basically it got printed or not, it got confirmed and printed, or it only confirmed or only printed that particular production from the warehouse tables. It is getting the detail from LTEC table. So these details, 3-4 detail they are getting in this perform, and after that, which is usually I also prefer to separate out the code, but you should not separate out that much that you are hampering the existing what we can say performance of the program, because he would have used the existing tables instead of hitting the another view which is having the same table. Then STKO table, but I'm not sure, I didn't go to that much deep, that might be the requirement or something like that, but I'm just telling in general case, if in the if you are working in the existing report, you can Control Z, you can what you can do, you can utilize the existing select statement instead of writing the separate select. Now we have the STKO table where they are getting the labor detail. They filled the sequence number and APRIO from directly AFKO table. Then they have the production campaign detail from PCMP table, which we have already faced. Material description they are getting for that production order material from MAKT. Favor means production supervisor they are getting from the MARC, and these just they have got the simply reading the data and putting in the final table. But here is again we have a little bit complex logic for the status. They are going through one by one status, they are updating the flag, and based on the flag finally they are updating this ALV status, which they have concatenated through multiple times. They have looped through the IT jest, one for the object number of the production order and one for the object number of the operations, and they have filled this particular LV status and concatenated all the values, and finally they have put in this status called the TXT30 some status they have passed this here. So we have to make sure these things, all the things, since it is little bit complex, we will try to create for CDs for this as well. And then we have AFPO table. They are getting the production order line item detail. Some of the fields are direct, some of the detail they are using the material conversion, unit conversion, and then they are passing those quantity in output, that we also do. And one more important thing, something called the read text. They are reading the text from the production order header that they are displaying further in the alt text. And then they have the MSEC table. From the MSEC they are getting the scrap quantity and scrap UOM, and they are using the parallel cursor over here to want to make sure they don't loop multiple times same data. So that is the reason they are using the parallel cursor and binary search like we usually do, but we don't need those all the things. We will be using the CDS for that. And then they have, this is little bit again complex logic to get the PRVBE. If you see the PRVBE, I forgot the description, a lot of fields are there, sorry. This is the production supply area, production supply area. They are getting from the RESB table. If they are not receiving from RESB table, then they are getting from RESB table based on the AFKO RS num and AFVC operation number. If they are not getting based on this, then again they are reading the same table with different detail. I will go through the logic when we develop the CDS for this, and this is they just to get the one simple value. They did those many things. You can see PRVB GWA final PRVBE. To get the one value, we have to sometime write the some complex logic that did the same here. And at last they are getting the BU date and they appended the IT final table. They have created this particular simple IT final table. I know it's taking time to explain the existing report, but obviously it will take time because it's a real time. And last thing, let me go to my ALV is the simplest thing. We prepared the final table. We just want to display. But again, here also a lot of things are there. So what you can see in the ALV, they are using CL solve factory method. They just pass the IT final and they use the LOLV to enhance the further all the functional, how ALV look like, what is the layout should look like, and we want to set the default layout. We want to set some header detail on that particular layout. Those things they header, to creating the header, these things they are doing on the ALV. And once they have done this one, they are changing the column text, which we can do in our case also in see when we create the metadata extension for the CDS, consumption CDS, those all the things they are doing here. And at last what they are doing, once they did this one, at last they are setting some handler. These are the two important thing here. One for the attaching the custom event, they have on click event. As soon as they click on the production order number, it should open in the production order T code, COR3 T code process. And they are using the user command. For in that user command, they have one edit button. I didn't create it in this report, but I will show you what they are doing exactly. For that, once they click on edit button, ALV become editable. You will update some field, then save it. One field only they are updating and save it. That we will do in our program through action. And finally, they are displaying the ALV report. So this is how the simplest, I can say, not simplest, it's a ALV report. So that is the reason. So you can see on click event is there. They are getting before displaying, and they set parameter ID and call transaction they are doing for the COR3 and COR2. Based on that pop-up, if they want to display or if they want to edit, based on that they want to display the pop-up, and they can open the COR3 or COR2 T code. So this is they are doing. And they have, as I told you, data say they are updating the IT final data. They made the editable ALV and they updated some of the data. In the AUFK, we can also update one or two fields that we will do through the actions. And you can use BAPI as well, but I will not gonna use BAPI. I will be updating the directly table, but you can use BAPI. But you have to make sure this BAPI should not have commit work. That also I will explain when we will do this kind of the requirements. Okay, this is all about this particular report. So basically they are getting the data, they are generating the ALV and displaying. Let's see the output, how it looked like. Let me do F8. As I told you, I'm not passing any data. I don't have that much data in the system. So I will directly execute this report. This is the work center, plant and date. I didn't change the select options name. And this is the tech code, if production order is tech code or not. Based on that, we are displaying some status text. So it's not having that much, it is not used for the filtration purpose of the select. So no need to worry. You just execute this report. Once we execute this report, we will get the output. Obviously it is taking time. Okay, so executed by, this is the process order detail report. Last time when it got executed, this detail we are getting, and the number of records currently it got displayed in the output. This is header, ALV header they have prepared. So, and these are the details we are getting. Some of the details, campaign and campaign description tables are not updated. I will try to update. I will try to take a half of the functional guy and try to update for one particular order all the details, so we can, unloading points are blank, and there are batch, material description, total quantity we are getting, different quantity. We are getting the status description. As I told you, we are not getting single status. They have material committed, delivered, partially confirmed, printed and released. You can see they have concreted and then they have displayed the text. So that is the reason that complex logic was there. So that also we have to cover TO status. Some of the fields are blank. Again, I'm telling we have to do something. I will take a help of the functional guy. I can fill some of the fields, so I can show you all the fields. Bulk material and RES, bulk material text we are getting. Then we have lab office printed and supervisor ID we are getting, an alternative bomb. These are all the details we are getting currently in the output. Now we have analyzed this report, and how this report, obviously there is one push button is there where the edit ALV, as soon as you click on that edit button, and one thing, As soon as you open this production order, it will open one pop-up. You want to display, I want to display this particular order, process order, sorry, not production. Wherever I say production order, that is wrong word. Process order, production order is different. So this is the process order, and they are getting the process order. They can change if you want to change from here as well. Let me come back. This is the one functionality we have to achieve. Instead of this particular T code, we have to open the same thing in the Fiori application. We have standard already. You can go to Fiori library in the browser. There we can see what is the product, what is the alternative of the COR3 and process order display. What is the process order display application? From there we can see, and we can configure based on the version you are using. And this is the S4 HANA 2020 version, obviously, and it's not latest version. I might be not able to show you some of the things, but we will see how much we can create this RAP applications. But I think display reports, we don't have with one action. I don't think so we will be facing this issue, but I will try to show you that one. So this is how the current report look like. Now we will convert this report to the RAP application. I hope I was able to explain. That was very complex one, and when we do the CDS, that will again become complex. We have to create how to approach that kind of requirement. That also I will try to explain. First thing what we have to do, once we went through the report, we know ultimately we have to create one list report page where the final output currently, which I can see here, it should be displayed in my list report. Is all the fields with this scroll bar as well. I should not able to open the object page. That also I have to make sure. That we will do, no need to worry, that is possible. First thing, before starting we should know it is possible or not. That is very important thing. So you have an existing ALV list report page you have created, then there you try out before starting developing whatever the functionality we want. We think that might get hiccups, something like that, this scroll bar, and once I open this one, it should open in another application. Those things you try out first, because if it is possible, then only we have to go for the RAP and list report application. Even though it is not possible and you develop the RAP application, that OData service you can give to the front end guy and ask him to develop. Make sure in your project, whenever you are working on this kind of requirement, don't work alone like I can do everything in RAP and I can do front end as well. Always involve the UI5 guy also, because we don't know in what point of time we have to convert this front end. We have to develop through UI5 instead of our backend annotations. Sometimes we can face this kind of issue also, but make sure whenever you are working, your front end one guy should be available. At least we need for the, obviously for configurations and all that also we can do. I will show you, but you should have in your project that one front end guy must, when you are working with the RAP application. That you have to make sure. So how you have to approach? I know this final IT_final I have to prepare. So I have to go to my program, and where I'm getting the get data, in the last where I'm preparing the IT final, where I'm looping one by one all the data and preparing the IT final. If I go to that, in that loop, I'm looping through AFVC table and I'm filling this GWA final table. So I need this one by one all the fields. I need the field name, what is the field description, and where it is getting from. Because I have to extract the information. In this case, I don't have any functional specs. Even I ask functional specs to the functional guy, they will ask, go through the program and give the detail. I will prepare the functional specs. So this is the irony again, because if we ask also them, they don't know the existing program, or based on the existing functional specs they can provide. But that is no, I think again going through functional spec, go in some other direction, because we have to develop ultimately this program, one application. So you have to go to that and take one by one all the fields. What I did, I prepared one Excel. This is my Excel. In this Excel, I will give this first name called first is the plant. So I have given this field name as a plant, and what description you are displaying as part of your output, that you will get in the ALV column, either in the column text you will get, or either from the data element you will get. So those details, so we can easily understand whenever we display the output, we can easily understand this is the field we are talking about, because sometimes we don't know all the fields technicality and all. So plant and the which table we are getting from. So here we are getting directly from ABC, I know already. So which table and description, and this standard CDS I will let you know, no need to worry, just as of now put on hold. If you want to put extra information, you can put the extra information over here. This is how you have to prepare one Excel. So because we have, this is the final table we have to display in output. So for that I want to know which fields coming from where. The same way I have the second field Warner, which is coming from AFVC. I put here the GSTRS. These are the straightforward field which I can put from the, you can see I put in the same sequence what the final table is coming. GLTRS, GLUR, these are coming from AFKO. These all the fields are coming from AFKO table. Then the bulk material and bulk material text that coming from the RESB. There is little bit when we are selecting, that is filter and all the there, but it is coming from RESB. And bulk material text, it is coming from RESB MAKT. Those two table, once we are getting RESB, then MAKT, and then MAKTS we are getting. So like that you can prepare the file. Next field is the labor field, which you are getting from the STKO. So you can see labor field we are getting from the STKO. Sequence number we are getting from the sequence number, and a pre-IO we are directly getting from AFKO table, and some field we are getting from the SPCMNR. So like that I have prepared this, all the fields name, what is the field description from the either from the column text and all, and what is the table we are getting from. So in this K text means this is directly we are not getting, we are hitting multiple table. First AFKO, getting the PLBER, and then we are getting the text from the MAKTX table. Then MARC, favor field production supervisor we are getting. This we are not having as of now. This is Z field. There were two G field I have deleted, which we don't need. Obviously I don't have those G fields in my table. If you want to add those some G field and do something, that you can do. I don't want to do. And I have the status, which I am getting from the multiple table again, and the AFPO table, some of the things I am getting. And then we have the long text again, which we are getting from the read text module. Some of the details quantity we are getting from AFPO, MSEG, script quantity we are getting from MSEG, and RESB we are getting the supplying area and posting date from AUFM, LTUC, TO status, production profile, and profile description we are getting from this. In that way, overall idea, even I am not writing the complete logic over here, which field where I am getting from. So how many table I have to hit, so that idea I will get from here, and how many fields I want to display. If you want to give some extra information, extra logic, for example, when I do the I want to get the script quantity, I have to get the moment type 551, 553, and I have to deduct from the 552, 554. And this one we have to use the read text. This one we have to do the quantity conversion here. So some extra information you can put if it is required. Once you're ready with that, now you are good with your CDS development. So I will pause this video here itself. In next video, we will first discuss the RAP naming convention. What all are the naming convention we have to use for the CDS behavior definitions. Then after, we will create one by one all the CDS, base BO, and then projection BO, then service binding, and we try to display our list report page like ALV. Before going to that video, please like this video, share this videos with others as well. Whatever you are feeling about this video, please write it down in comment section. Subscribe this channel, and you shout out about this channel so everybody can watch and come to this channel. With that, thank you and happy learning.